We've come a very long way to speak with you. There is
Whoa, what was that?
That was you.
No. It was back here in this corner. Behind.
Whoa.
Hello? Whoa.
All right, Ryan, we are back here at the Webb Library in Morehead City, North Carolina. We were here about 5-6 years ago.
I wasn't scared, but I mean, I guess in a way I was, but I don't know. It's just like I didn't want to move and run into somebody. That's the way I felt.
Right. And
Longer, 7.
7 years ago.
It was like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Almost 7 years ago to the month, believe it or not.
That's crazy. Yeah, actually, it would have been.
Who are we communicating with?
I mean, I keep feeling something's coming at me right now. I feel like it's just like jolting out at me. I don't even want to look over here right now.
Something just like, I almost felt like a brush on the side of my face right here on my cheek.
So we have returned here. They've done a lot of really cool improvements to the building. Unfortunately, we have heard the news that they're going to be moving the Webb Library to somewhere else within the city here. So it's kind of cool that we got to come back and experience this again before they move it.
And it's kind of interesting because as we are getting ready to start our investigation, as we're getting ready to interview the employees and other investigators that have been a part of the Webb Library, a huge storm is getting ready to roll in, and I think I can hear some thunder in the distance. So hopefully that'll charge up the library for tonight.
Absolutely.
It was built in 1929 by Earl Webb Sr. It was a doctor's office on the bottom floor, and the top floor was a training facility for a local garment factory. There's been some sadness with the Webb family. Their son had died in 1932. He had just come home from college for Christmas vacation. He collapsed getting off of the train and developed pneumonia, and it was within a week that he had passed away. And it was their only child, Mr. and Mrs. Webb's the only child. They were devastated.
There's a lot of energy wrapped up into that, and it's just a special place. It feels like home, but it also feels like stepping back in time, and that's probably the coolest part about this location. I'll reference our friends in Joey and Tanya Madia. They're here for 2 full years. They have a book on Amazon called Watch Out for the Hallway, where they actually explain their investigations, and we kind of use that as the blueprint to kind of go into our investigations to ask more specific questions, not just general questions and things like that. That's where we learned there was a portal in the middle of the hallway here on the upstairs area. So hence why we get someone new usually each time that we visit. Wow. It's kind of interesting to be back here and looking at these bookshelves, because if I remember correctly, it was right around this area where we had a lot of activity. Specifically, yes. Actually right behind you, that might even be the same chair that was sitting there when we were here 7 years ago.
I thought I heard that chair move.
And not only did you hear something that sounded like movement on the chair, but you also picked up a child's giggle.
Yeah.
Right here in this room.
Is that funny?
You startled us.
Who knows whose energy is left behind here? I mean, the Webb family has been known to show themselves and to speak to investigators and visitors from time to time, but also I heard there's a doctor that may actually come forward every once in a while. So,
not to mention this whole area here is like hallowed ground, you know, from centuries ago. You know, it's hard to tell who or what is here.
The previous director, they moved our young adult section upstairs, and she's shelved them. She's the last one to leave at night and first one to open up. And those books that she moved are now all over the floor.
And in the past, we've had children in the children's play area. The books that are there have been known, especially in the past, to come off the shelves, whether it be laid flat to where someone looks like they were reading, all the way to a couple being on the floor on there as well.
They've talked to a little girl named Abigail in the children's room. They say she's very friendly.
Yeah, I remember specifically this room was when we were here years ago. This room was actually part of the library that they said was the most active, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had a couple of strange experiences in here last time.
I think we had a couple of noises and knocking sounds that we captured in here.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And an overall just very creepy sense of being in this room. A lot of energy throughout this place, and I know that upstairs for me, there is a lot more of an energy feeling than there is down here, aside from the library section.
So my brother Aaron's been with me from the start, whether we were kids growing up all the way till now when I brought him on my team here last year. He was actually sitting in this exact location where I'm at now. And we actually called what's considered a rod anomaly, because that's the best way to explain it, that looked exactly like a question mark. And so he was sitting here, I was over here on the right, I had a couple investigators in the front of us, and then he actually asked, he's like, all right, we're gonna leave, we're looking for a sign if someone can let us know. If not, we're gonna go to the next room. Then you hear a little bit of the mumbling of the voice box, and then you hear out of the spirit box, here's your sign.
All right, well, if anybody's not trying to give us any messages, we're going to move to the next room.
And then we saw this anomaly come up that looked exactly like a question mark and kind of faded in there as well.
Yo! Is that you? Isaac, is that you? Yo! What the hell?
Completely crazy, because we thought, is that a hair? Is that a web or something like that? What could that be? But going back and pointing, trying to put stuff in front of it to try to debunk it, nothing came. Like, how can it look exactly like a question mark? And of course, the spirit box saying, here's your sign right before it is astonishing.
It's so weird. It all looks so similar, even though it does look different. There is some new furniture, some new books, but I remember specifically they said this was the room where they felt a more masculine energy in years ago. So.
Right. Which makes sense with it being Mr. Webb's, a lot of his personal literary collection is in here.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did tell us that. All of these books actually belonged to Mr. Webb.
It's very strange being back in here though. I don't know. Kind of like we just left yesterday, but it's been 7 years and here we are full circle, still doing it and still loving it.
Let's go down to the basement. I have yet to walk down to the basement since we got here today. And I kind of want to go down there and feel it out, because I remember down in that basement we got a lot of weird vibes last time we were here.
Let's do it.
I don't go downstairs. I went one time and only made it halfway down the stairs. There's rustling going on. You can't see where you're going. It's just like a right corner, and it's very dark and wet, and it's creepy. So I don't go downstairs.
Ooh, it is creepy down here.
Yes, it is.
This is one of the only buildings in this whole area that has a basement on it. They did not put, nowadays they don't put basements on houses or buildings in this area because you're right at sea level. They say this basement dates back to the 1700s.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's check it out.
So we live on sea level. So literally if you dig past 6 feet, water will come up and it in your face, and or you can't dig anything. So it's already extremely hard to bury bodies here in the area and stuff like that. Like, we're very close. So the fact that there's an actual basement that goes further down is the rarest thing. We live in hurricane country, we call it. It's flat land. There's no mountains here. There's no hills or valleys. It's just really very rare that you see a basement.
There's the pump. Wow. It's like an echo chamber in here.
Yeah, it is.
This is so cool though.
But you can see the old foundation there, the old house. And yeah, there's a lot of energy in here.
So
And
much history.
So much history. I think it's good to be back. I'm excited to get into investigating and seeing what we can capture tonight.
Yeah, and I know the sun is still up, and that's going to cause some problems for us. But we don't have much time here at the Webb. We have to leave fairly early in the evening, around midnight or 1.
Mm-hmm.
So while we have the opportunity, the library is going to close up completely. Employees are going to be gone. I think we should just leave the abandonment set up during the...
You definitely got me freaking out to that.
What?
To that, I freaked out to it.
It's kind of startling.
But you know, that's a good conduit for paranormal activity.
Yeah, running water, it is. But let's set up abandonment even though it is daytime, even though the sun's still up. Let's set up abandonment and see if we can capture anything when the library's empty while we're at dinner.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's get it set up so we can get back here and get to investigating.
Let's do it. Webb Library, number 2.
We're back.
7 years in between. We're back. All right, guys. Have fun. We're leaving. time-lapse you just watched was supposed to be an 8-second clip. So you're probably wondering why this clip only lasts 3 seconds. What you're about to watch is the exact moment we went to retrieve the time-lapse camera. All right, so we are on phones right now. I came out here to get the Osmo from the time-lapse that we just did.
It's begun. Literally makes no sense.
I left the bag out here too, and the bag for the Osmo is gone. Did someone just steal our shit? But how?
Look at this.
How?
It's stacked up.
The case is stacked on top of the Osmo. This is exactly how we came out to whatever just happened. Literally, the case was... How could the Osmo fall and the case land on top of it like that? There's no way. This is... I don't...
Show them how it's supposed to normally be.
I had it set up, I had the case behind this. This was set up on the rows here like that. At this moment, the paranormal isn't even on our minds. It's apparent that someone was inside this fenced-in garden with our camera. Watching the time-lapse back, frame by frame, doesn't aid in solving this mystery either, because the culprit wasn't captured in any of the shots that create this smooth lapse of time. So our question is, to whoever did this, why not steal the expensive camera? Why turn it off, ruining the shot, and then why stack it neatly on the table with the case directly on top? But we also can't help but wonder, as we stand here out in this garden, dumbfounded by all the questions flowing through our head, is someone watching us? To help us get to the bottom of this, we have to ask Aaron and Brandon Sanders of No Quarter Paranormal if they've come across any squatters on the library's property. We're confused.
All right.
We set up this time-lapse on the table out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I left the case, so here's that little garden table. I left the case like this for it to run. That way when I was done, I could just put it back in the case.
Mm-hmm.
We walk out there, and it only got 3 seconds of what would have been a normal 10-second time lapse.
So it pulled his battery.
Wait.
And you saw where it fell over? Or
This is how it was sitting on the table.
Really?
How did the case get perfectly on top of the Osmo? Like
He's
that.
out there, is he?
I don't know. I asked you about that.
Let's go walk in the garden. Where was it at?
It was on the white garden table in the back corner.
Let's go this way.
And I made sure to set it up precisely on a rose because it has a flat bottom. There's no way that it would have fallen over, got knocked over.
Totally.
It was like this, and the case was
Just neatly stacked.
just neatly stacked on top of it.
What?
There's no, unless a human being came out here and did that.
Let's go. So there's been known for homeless people camping out, so let's go check that first. Let's go through the archway.
Finding out that the garden has been a place that the homeless have been known to crash helps all of this make a little more sense. But we're still confused on the why. Why stack the protective carrying case directly on top of the Osmo pocket? But we can't waste any more time trying to figure this out. Our time in the library is limited, and it's time for us to switch to night vision and start our investigation. So we're just getting started here at the Webb Library. We never figured out what was going on with our time-lapse camera called an Osmo. We're just going to assume that it's not paranormal, that someone wandered in off the street into the garden and found the camera and just stacked it like that as a prank or something. But it was very strange because my question is, why?
How to stack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
Why didn't you take it? You know what I mean? Like, why would you stack it like that? So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just steal it? But
It's weird.
but this is No Quarter Paranormal. Right here, that's Aaron, and of course you already saw Brandon in the interview. So we are going to start by walking through the library, doing a first preliminary sweep and to see what we can get. Ready?
Let's
do
it.
Let's go to the kids' room first. Say hello. See a table. Alright. Has dropped our
What?
directory already.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, there's a difference here.
It's like cold right here by me. Like I got chills instantly.
You dropped from 73 down to 71 and dropping still. Right now, currently. So we think
That was kind of strange.
I just almost ran into that huge here.
Some of the things that we've happened here is, especially in the corners, here in the room, you get a bit of a vertigo type situation going on. So you get a little bit of little dizziness going on here.
Just got a ringing in my right ear.
Over here.
Just in the area.
You alright?
You okay?
Hold on, it might be a bug in your hat.
That's wild.
Little one, are you here? Who tells me I touched the...
I don't know what that was. It felt like something tickling my head.
Underneath your hat.
Yes.
Did you ever figure out what that was on your hat?
No.
So to note, the coldness that was down to 70 is back up to 74, so it is getting warm in the room, so weird.
It's getting warmer now.
Yeah, you can feel it.
It felt like we walked in on something when we first walked in here.
I think she
It was ice cold when you walked through that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
But I want to get Curious George for you, and I like to play with him. We're gonna set him over here so you can rock with him. There we go. And if you like, you can rock with him. You just have to do like this for us, okay? Sweet.
Abigail, I know you know Aaron and Brandon, but my name is Ryan, and that's Dave over there. We're friends of Brandon and Aaron's, and we just wanted to come and talk to you. They told us that you like to talk to them, and that you like to play with them.
Did you guys hear a voice?
I did not over that motorcycle out there.
Big old truck or wherever they have.
Did you hear it?
I did. Yeah, it sounded like a woman.
Did you guys hear a voice? Did you guys hear a voice?
Abigail, could you rock that rocking chair for us that has Curious George in it?
If there's anyone other than Abigail who wants to come in and speak with us, you're more than welcome.
Doctor, I know you're across the hall. You're more than welcome to join us ahead of time if you'd like to. And come out of the gentleman's room or the captain's room if you'd like.
If there's anyone other than Abigail who wants to come in and speak with us, you're more than welcome.
Doctor, I know you're across the hall. You're more than welcome to join us. Doctor, I know you're across the hall. You're more than welcome to join us.
If there's anybody in this room with us, you have a diet.
Did you hear that?
Yes. What was
Yeah.
that?
That's similar to the voice that I heard
It
earlier.
literally was muffled.
Yeah.
It sounded like it came out of the hallway.
It was. Did it sound like it was? Because to me, it sounded like it was almost behind you, Brayden.
I thought it came from back like around the door, which is why I looked back at Dave.
There's no one walking down the sidewalk.
Okay. It was
so-
like.
No, nobody on the
No,
street.
that was definitely
It's wild.
sounded disembodied for sure. It was definitely faint.
So, if that was you, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
What I was gonna say is we have a device here that if you get super close to, it'll make a noise so we know that your presence is.
Yeah, here, I'll show you, Abigail, how to work it if you walk up to it. See?
Is that you?
No, someone just sat down on the bench outside.
Outside?
That loud noise wasn't you guys?
No,
No.
it's a lot colder right here. You guys did hear that movement though, right?
Yeah.
That's behind us? Okay.
I thought it was you guys, which is why when you said it wasn't you, I was like, what?
Standing still, and we both looked at each other. I was like, was that you? He was like, no. I was like, okay. It sounded like someone came and like sat on the bench and it like hit the wall.
Right.
Huh. Okay.
That was pretty interesting that we had that little.
Earl Jr., is that you, buddy? I know you really don't talk much at all.
What was that?
I just heard someone whistling.
Yeah.
In there?
Yeah.
Somewhere in here.
It sounded like it was behind us, Dave.
Earl Jr., is that you, buddy? I know you really don't talk much at all.
What was that?
I know you really don't talk much at all.
What was that?
Doctor, I'm gonna give you your receipt, bud. I know you said last time we were here that you were gonna stick around. Can you let us know that you're here with us still?
Dr. Thompson, I wanted to ask if it's okay for Dave and Ryan to be in here.
Doctor, we were here about 7 years ago. I don't know if you remember Dave and I or not. We had a friend named Steve that was here with us. If you remember us from all those years ago, can you give us a sign of your presence? Or if you can go into this next room, and on the floor there's a red light that you can touch. And if you touch it, it'll let us know that you're here. That is true. Let's just keep pressing on.
I'm gonna take the REM pod, please.
And they said this is the spot where you think there's like a portal, right?
Yeah, so in the known investigations from the Madias from 2015, 2017, that they discovered there's someone new every single time they would come in here, and they wondered why. And then they kept saying portals and portals, so they kept asking and looking for it, and they kept telling them chandelier, chandelier, middle, middle, middle. So this is where it's been probably the most active, whether it's the walking or you have the disembodied voice, or sometimes the chandelier will legit move and not, because you can't do this, it still doesn't move it. You have to actually be in the attic for it to move around. So usually at times it'll actually do some swinging around here. It's also like the most focal center point of the library itself. So it's like centralized, so they just boom, come in and walk where they want to, basically.
Temperature change. If that's you making the temperature go down, can you step near those red lights, touch them, and make that thing light up for us?
What was that?
You hear that?
Yeah, that's behind us.
Yeah. Like coming down the hallway.
Mr. Webb?
What was that?
You hear that?
Yeah, that's behind us.
Yeah.
What was that?
You hear that? I'm getting chills, man.
Behind
Yeah. Like all up and down my back. And what a coincidence. It's a question mark room. If there's anybody using the portal tonight, if that's you, could you do what Ryan says and head towards those red lights for us? They'll let us know you're here.
Whoa.
Here we go.
Are you getting close to that, making the temperature change?
Great job, guys. Keep it going.
Yeah, it dropped down to 69.5.
There you go. Good job. Use the portal, guys. There you go, guys.
If there's more than 2 of you, can you make that stop buzzing?
Okay. All right, so there's more than 2 of you. If there's 3, could you come back up on it, please?
We continued this session for about 8 more minutes. And for this entire 45-minute sweep, we were unable to establish definite, intelligent communication. So it's time to change up our tactic. Brandon had told us 2 things that stuck out. 1, it's believed that there's a portal in the center of this building, right where the chandelier hangs. 2, the spirits apparently like to communicate through the spirit box. So it's time to set up an Estes method spirit box session right below this chandelier. All right, so we just got started. Dave is getting set right now. Currently, we're gonna do an Estes method with him upstairs while we are down here on the first level. He's gonna be up there. Of course, he's gonna be listening to the spirit box through the headphones. He can't hear our questions at all.
Finally got it working.
Finally got it working.
Here we go.
Sweet.
And he's
We're
going
at 0.3.
0.3.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be recording what's coming through the spirit box. What he's hearing in his headphones is going to be recorded so that when he says the voice out loud, you know he's actually hearing it. He's not actually just speaking words out loud, trying to make up this stuff. We're going to capture it for you all so that you at home can hear it as well. So we also have the ghost tube running in just a few minutes ago. And what was weird is we have the ghost tube running, and the ghost tube said Abigail right whenever Aaron and Brandon walked by the child's library where the little girl Abigail is said to hang out.
How are you?
Abigail.
Hi, Abigail.
Did it just say Abigail?
Yes, it did.
Abigail White. Hello, Abigail White. Thank you for the last name, finally. It's only been a few years.
It just said Abigail.
And then White.
White.
Abigail White. Abigail, is White your last name?
We normally overlay the ghost tube display so the words show on screen as they come through. But at the end of this session, as Brandon stopped recording, the program told him the file was corrupted and could not be saved. So as the words come through, I'll be manually placing them on screen for you to read.
All right, Ryan, you asked first question.
All right.
Look.
Where do you want us to look?
If there's anyone here with us, Dave upstairs has a box. All you have to do is walk up to him and speak, and he'll be able to hear your voice.
Haunted.
Yes, it is.
Is there anyone from the Webb family here? Go talk to Dave.
If you're upstairs with Dave, can you get him to tell us something for you? Can you say hello or give us one of your names, please?
If you know who I am, speak on that box that Dave has.
Just to establish, my name is Dave.
Can you hear me?
I'm using a device here that you can speak to me through. My friends downstairs are going to be asking you questions. And I heard, hey Dave.
Thank you.
Yes, he can hear you, by the way.
My friends are going to be asking questions, and I would like for you to answer them
What did it say, Hall?
through this radio.
Can you say the name of the family that built this beautiful building?
Can you give us the name of the gentleman that the library is named after who passed away here? Can you give us your first name, please? Can you tell Dave?
Can you tell us what room you are?
Maybe.
Can you tell Dave upstairs where you're at in this building? Or where you would like us to go in this building?
Am I dead?
Maybe. You might be. Unfortunately, probably yes. Do you need help, though? Can you tell Dave you need help?
So far, I've heard absolutely nothing.
Would you like us to go to the basement?
What?
How did you get here?
Wandering.
Did you hear that?
No.
Bro, what was that? Let's go. This is near the book stack.
How did you get here?
Wandering.
Did you hear that?
No.
Bro, what was that? That's where we learned there was a portal in the middle of the hallway here on the upstairs area. So hence why we get someone new usually each time that we visit.
How did you get here?
Wandering.
Did you hear that?
No.
Bro, what was that?
Yo, that just creeped me out.
Dude, that's the loudest I've heard it. I'm gonna go around this way.
Let's get weird.
Let's go check that area over here. You go first. Did anything fall off the shelf?
I don't see anything.
I'm checking in between the shelves now.
Wait.
Point one. Point one.
Someone looks
right
like the
here.
books got moved.
Point one.
But it's not on the ground, but it does look like they've got pushed out more.
Really?
Yeah, so every night they go and they stack these flush. So it looks like these three have been pulled on. Interesting.
Huh. Let's check the other stacks over here and see, because that was loud.
No, I just got a 2.8, guys.
Where?
Right here in front of me. It's like it's following me.
A 2.8?
A
2.8.
2.8.
That's pretty significant.
And it's been flatlined this whole time. It's like almost like it's behind us. Wow. He's going crazy at me.
Yeah, the rest of these are very flush.
Are you following us? Why are you not communicating with Dave upstairs?
Did you find any more books that are out of place?
I'm stopping this. I've heard nothing.
All right. right, so we are getting ready to head down to the basement here. Dave and I are going to do a session, a spirit box session downstairs in the basement where they believe some male entities hang out. The basement itself is the oldest part of the structure, so it's going to be interesting. But to make sure we don't miss anything, on the first level by the stairs, on the banister, and right here in front of me, on these stairs that lead down to the basement, we have motion sensors. So if anything walks by this while we're down here doing a spirit box session, we're going to get an alarm down here in the basement. So let's go lights out, Dave.
All right, let's do it.
Can you come down and communicate with us? This is my buddy Ryan here. My name is Dave. And we'd like to speak with you. You can talk through the radio.
Oh, it's a Dave.
Did it?
We got some bugs flying around down here.
Yeah, there's a lot. Say what?
Some
Come up and use this box in my hand to speak to us. What's your name? Because so much electricity runs through this basement, it's causing a lot of interference for this analog spirit box. So most of the voices are unintelligible. Also, the storm earlier caused the building's drainage system to overload, and there's still water running to the pump in the basement. This audio interference is going to make it nearly impossible to investigate down here. So Dave and I decide to gather our equipment and head upstairs.
Let me set this down because I'm sure I'm gonna drop it.
Hi.
So what's with the
What was that?
I don't know, there's a flying spider in my face. Is it all me? God. Thank you for watching Paranormal Quest.
It's not over yet.
I don't know, but the spider's gonna get me.
Alright, so earlier when Dave was doing the Estes method upstairs, Brandon, Aaron, and I heard what sounded like movement back here in these bookshelves in the actual library portion.
Wandering.
Did you hear that?
Bro, what was that? Yeah, so every night they go and they stack these flush. So it looks like these three have been pulled on. Interesting.
Huh. And also Aaron, whenever he walked around the corner here, had a significant spike in EMF, so we're gonna actually take the millimeter back here and see if we can pick up on that same spike.
Yes.
Is there anyone here with us? Abigail. Doctor? Mr. and Mrs. Webb? It's just Dave and I in here now. Can someone touch that red light on top of the bookshelf? Or if you want to, you can push it off.
Come on out and talk with us. We would like to have someone communicate with us. We've come a very long way to speak with you. Would you mind coming out and talking to us? There's a...
Whoa, what was that?
That was it you?
No. It was back here in this corner. Behind. Whoa. Hello? Whoa. That was a weird sound back here. It was like someone stomped on the floor back here.
There's a...
Whoa, what was that?
That was it you?
No. It was back here in this corner. Behind. Whoa. Hello? Whoa. I don't know.
Here, you do it from that angle.
Like, that's what it is. It's a
Vibration. Wow. Alright guys, we debunked that.
It was the vibration of the floor whenever we walked to go find out what the sound was, but
going up through the shelf, making it go off. If you don't want to film, just set it up stationary.
I don't mind filming, it's just the standing part. My legs and feet hurt so bad. What was that? Did you hear that? Yeah. My legs and feet hurt so bad. What was that?
Hello? We heard you down there. Can you walk into the gentleman's room and have a seat on the couch? Are you upset that we're in here? What's your favorite section here in the library? Can you make a noise wherever that is? I'm in here alone.
I just heard something upstairs.
Can you come and answer my questions for me? Are you upset that the library is being closed and the library is being moved? It's upsetting to us because we love this library and everything that it does for the community here.
We're going to be leaving here soon. This is the same room where Aaron captured a strange rod of light that was shaped like a question mark. Can you show that to me now?
Come on, Mr. Webb, come out and talk to me, please. I know that you've come out and spoken with Brandon before, and Aaron.
Mr. Webb, can you come in here and talk to us?
And they've been kind enough to invite us back in here to speak with you. Are or even Mrs. Webb. Are you here?
Hello? I'm coming in if that's okay.
And I'm not trying to upset you by letting you know about the closure or the move of the library. But I just wanted to hear your opinion on it.
If anyone's up here, even though we don't believe we heard much from you tonight, we want to thank you for allowing us into your building and for allowing us to spend some time asking you questions. And I hope that we did get the answers over our pieces of equipment and that we just don't know it yet. But either way, we're grateful that you allowed us into your space, and we really appreciate the time that you gave to us.
So we're going to have to be taken off here pretty soon. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Webb, anybody in the Webb family who's here, Abigail or any of the other spirits that may be in the house here, we're going to head out. Not sure if we'll ever be able to come back with the current situation of the library being in limbo here. But if you did come out and speak with us, thank you. We appreciate it. And we're sorry if we caused you any harm or anything like that. Thank you very much.
Tonight's been a pretty interesting night. And even though we could really never establish what we believe to be intelligent communication, we still experience some odd occurrences. Whoa.
Here we go.
Are you getting close to that, making the temperature change?
Wandering.
Did you hear that?
Yo,
Bro, what was that?
yo, that just creeped me out.
Dude, that's the loudest I've heard it.
There is a...
Whoa, what was that?
That was a you.
No. Getting to come back and investigate the Webb Library has been bittersweet. It's been a wonderful reminder of how much life can change in just 7 short years. But even though it feels like so much has changed, so much has also stayed the same. When we traveled to Morehead City in 2014, we were only 3.5 years into our paranormal quest. It felt like the beginning of an amazing adventure. And even though we've traveled thousands of miles and conducted hundreds of investigations since our first visit to the Webb, in a way, it still feels like the beginning of an amazing adventure. We'd love to have you along for the ride.